Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 434.
434.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. You know, so much is happening. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind about to open in a few weeks at EPCOT. And, of course, Disneyland Paris is now well underway for 30 years. It's really a great time to book a trip to any Disney park that is open.
And don't forget about the Disney Wish.
And the Disney Wish. I did forget about that for one moment. So check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. They can help you if there's discounts or just with knowledge. You know, that's one thing when I was a Disney authorized travel planner for 7 years, you know, being able to give that knowledge to guests.
So we're going to start off the show with the Magic Kingdom. This past Saturday, we went to the Magic Kingdom. It was Easter weekend, and of course, Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny were out. We didn't necessarily think they were going to be on the train station, but there they were.
Well, they had been in the grass.
Right.
I guess prior to that, over the few days. We were going to go on Sunday. We didn't know until really the last minute if there was even going to be a, the pre-parade. Mm-hmm. So it was really exciting that they were doing it this year after 2 years off.
And when I first walked up to Mr. and Mrs. Bunny, they were far apart. And then all of a sudden they got really close. Like, look at how close they are together. And this is the first I saw here at Walt Disney World characters interacting this close together. And I did notice that.
On the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser when we did the 4 hours.
And I don't count that.
Okay, yes. You know, and also when we were watching the pre-parade, and we'll talk about that, you know, the cast members, they dance together and everything. And it's something like, wow, you know, we haven't really seen that in 2 years. So we'll be showing, the pre-parade as well in a minute.
But this was very nice again. It was so nice on Easter, Easter weekend to see Mr. and Mrs. Bunny. And as they were leaving the train station, we got to see them on their way out up close.
Well, she did a little
dance,
little twirl,
little spin, and there a little bow from Mr. Easter Bunny himself there.
Yeah, I mean, things are getting, more and more back to normal.
And it was not a crazy busy day. I had heard Easter Sunday was very busy, but Saturday was a great day to be there. And of course, the main reason we last minute came in was the Easter parade, the pre-parade here before the Festival of Fantasy parade.
It's different, and it is a little different every year, but like we didn't have the Azalea Trail Maids this year, and Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny are usually driven in a vehicle, and instead they were in the gazebo where other bunnies usually are.
And this guy here was impressed. He says, "Oh, a camcorder. I guess he doesn't see many of those."
Is that what
That's
he was
what he
saying?
said. You can watch the video. You can hear it clearly.
So there was the Fantasia ostriches and hippos, and they actually were added many years ago to the pre-parade and are always a welcome sight. I was on the opposite side, taking video of the country bears.
There you are there.
Yes, taking a little video and photos with the country bears in the background because I think that's really interesting. And again, I mentioned, the cast members dancing together, we
have not seen this where they actually hold hands as they do their dances, and a classic routine that we haven't seen much of.
Right. And, Festival of Fantasy, we're going to talk about that, but like the characters are coming back together now. They're, it's something we didn't see on this day because it didn't start till the next day, the 18th.
Right, and we'll have full coverage of the 18th. We went over to Epcot and met some characters and got some autographs, things we haven't been able to do in a long time. Anyway, here is Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny on the gazebo. In past years, this gazebo was filled with Disney rabbits, but this time they're just having the Mr. and Mrs. Bunny.
And not just Disney rabbits. We've had Nick and Judy in there. We've had like the Chicken Little, so it just depends. Every year is different. Again, usually they're in a car driven by a cast member.
Right.
But in this case, things were a little different this year.
But we do have a 10-year retrospective. I will link to that so you can see every Disney Easter pre-parade in the 10 years leading up till 2019.
Now you need an 11-year retrospective.
That's right. Well, we can just add this. It won't be too hard.
And really, the only other character here besides who we've seen is the White Rabbit. I mean,
right, there's the White Rabbit.
Clara Cluck also.
Oh, yes.
So, but anyway, you've got a variety of different performers. And it was really great to hear the music back again. And, I was on the other side and you saw the Country Bears dancing to the music, and that was really fun.
It was a different mix this year because you had your classic Easter bonnet song, but then you had Spring, 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 which is something that they used to do in the trolley show, if you remember, the springtime trolley show.
I do remember that. Like, I didn't really think about it.
But it wasn't previously in the Easter parade here, so I thought it was a nice little mix. And here is Clarabelle. Or no.
Clarabelle. It's not Clarabelle.
I wish it was. I could say Scrooge, but it's Clara Cluck.
Oh, my
it's Clara Luck.
Yes.
Almost is good. Anyway, and this, of course, we see this during the Halloween parades and various other appearances. She always seems to appear in that barn.
She does, yes.
Although there was one year that she was doing meet and greets. Remember that villains thing?
I do.
In the horseshoe?
Yes, I do remember that. That was very interesting. That was the only time I've ever remembered her in that type of way.
So you mentioned the Festival of Fantasy parade. Last time we saw it, we were not able to see this Pinocchio float. It wasn't running because it was too windy, we were told. But here it is, and while we're watching this, we can talk about some of the upgrades that have already happened to the parade starting yesterday.
Well, the updates. Well, I don't think that all of the performers are back yet, and I hope that they will be. But I know, like, Bella's with Beast and Elsa and Anna are together again. So that was something that started yesterday. And so...
and Minnie has joined Mickey up in the balloon, and we'll see that in a moment.
That I did not know. So I just know that a lot of the characters were back together. So I think, hopefully things will start... I would like to see the dancers back in the front, and I'm hoping that will happen as well.
Right. So the start, I guess, it's a start. We have all the couples have been reunited, and now we're going to hopefully have some more dancers, and we'll be back to the full force parade soon. And
I hadn't realized when we've talked about Festival of Fantasy that was kind of the reason the characters weren't together. Like, April 18th was the day, that they started doing that. So
right. I didn't realize it fully either, but then now it totally makes sense.
Right, it does. So it's nice to see Festival of Fantasy, coming back even more full.
Now, you actually did not see the parade on this day because you ran ahead to try to get onto the People Mover to see the TRON construction, and that is what we're going to see next. And you managed to get on. It was a bit of a wait because it was Easter weekend, but not too bad.
It was. I think I waited about 10 minutes. I didn't try. I did. I got onto the People Mover.
And the funny thing is, on this day, one little video clip was shown of the TRON vehicle testing, and I've only seen it from that same source. I've not seen any other sources, and it hasn't happened yet since. So.
And it was not too long before we got into the park that it happened. I mean, it was almost around the time we got into the park that it happened, and so I wish
it would have been nice to see it. We must have just missed it by probably 45 minutes. I think it did happen before we got into the park.
I wish that we were there a little earlier, but I mean, just the fact that we could get a reservation on the same day, as soon as we found out that the pre-parade was on that day, was on Saturday, we ran out for the next one.
Right. A friend of mine posted a little video clip. I'm like, oh, they're having it today. Yay. And you were like, I think I said, there's no way we'll get a reservation.
And then I said, I got a reservation.
But look at this. The TRON, the building is really, really coming along just from the last time that we've seen it, the canopy. I mean, it was only a few weeks ago, and now it's really looking pretty much done there.
Well,
it's the canopy. I'm talking about the canopy only.
The canopy looks great. You've got the train, the train tunnel going through there now, and I'm looking forward to having the train back. I mean,
I was going to say, maybe even more than the TRON ride is having the train return, because I will ride the train probably more than TRON.
I mean, we've ridden the train so much at Disneyland Paris in the last year. It will be nice to have our own train back soon. I want to say whenever it does happen.
And it wasn't, at least it didn't look like it was too bad of a line for Space Mountain.
No.
I mean, the Saturday before Easter, that's crazy.
It was really a moderate day at the park. It was very pleasant.
It was busier yesterday here at EPCOT. We're going to take a look at our day. We got a autograph book, the 50th anniversary. It just went on sale yesterday, the first day of traditional meet and greets. And we decided to start with, of course, who else would we start with? is the big cheese, Mickey himself.
That was your decision.
It was my
I was
decision.
like, I want to meet Donald first.
I figured the first real meet and greet that I was going to do, I wanted to meet the head Mickey himself. And I'm glad we did. It was great. This was certainly the longest line we waited in.
Him and
but
Donald.
It was air conditioned. Yeah, Donald had a good line.
They had about the same, to me, they had about the same wait, maybe like 20 minutes or something. I wish, because I wish that Mickey had a different kind of costume here, just like maybe changing costumes. But
you have other opportunities to meet him.
do.
I mean, if you want the traditional classic Mickey,
You
he
can
is
find him
available.
here.
And normally this is not too bad of a wait. It really isn't, because it's kind of hidden in the Imagination building.
yeah, I mean, I think now you're going to sell like a million more autograph books. And
Yeah, we bought one
yes.
for the first time in many years.
Again, you sell those, and then guests will wait in line for him and for the other characters. But Joy and Vanellope were not as bad of a wait.
And you'll notice in the autograph book there, you saw Mickey in his 50th outfit. But I forgot how much fun it is to do autographs with the characters, and we'll talk about that very soon. Sometimes they do very interesting things with the autographs.
Well, we don't usually do autograph books, and so like that one time we brought out Vinylmation that a friend wanted us to autograph,
Right.
and we've done a few things like that before, and I think we've only bought like one autograph book and had it ever.
Oh, that's mentioned. You can hug the characters too.
Yes.
I had to show that from a reverse angle, and there is Mickey's signature. Very nice signature there.
But the funny ones are the Vanellope signature.
Right.
And
so
Goofy.
also we got to meet Joy. Joy, I think, had the smallest line of the 5 characters we're going to show. It was,
At this time,
At this
yes.
point, yes. And this was towards the end of their run. They took a break at 2:00, and this was about 1:40, 1:45 or so.
My hair looks frazzled. Like we were out
hot.
it was so hot out, so my hair just died.
So you mentioned Vanellope. She was a lot of fun. This was a bit longer of a wait, but it was air conditioned, not too bad, and she was very, very fun.
It wasn't bad. I opened the book and I didn't want her. I wanted the Fab 5 to get those first 5, and then I opened it to another mini page, and she's like, no. And so she.
Oh yes, she
put it
knew
to the,
she was looking for Mr. Duck.
So she put it to the Donald page, and she drew a mustache, like a Tim Tracker type, former Tim Tracker type
Right.
mustache, and then the
Handlebar mustache,
yes.
I think they're called.
And the smelly feet. And
Smelly feet. Later on, I mentioned Donald was very offended. He said
Yes,
he had
I'm sure.
clean feet.
he did. I don't think he said
Yeah,
anything.
he referenced it. Look at this. This was very funny though, and I had no idea that something like this was possible. Even
Honestly, this was really fun, and like we don't stand in line as often. Well, we haven't in 2 years. Except for at Disneyland Paris, but yeah, there's Donald.
So speaking of Donald, we needed to show this to the number one duck himself and see what he had to think about this. As you can see there was quite a line, and this one is outside, so it was a little humid, but we made it through, and here he is. Here's Donald, and you're about to show him the special autograph and Vanellope's enhancement there.
Again, like this isn't something I normally do, so I just thought it was fun. The interactions, they really did so great with the interactions. And I know guests must have loved it. Yes,
nice and clean.
No, that was fun. So, but anyway, I gave him a Donald one, and he did not open it to anybody else. He just signed it himself.
Well, every one of the characters we met yesterday had PhotoPass, except for Goofy at the end. And even in that case, the cast member was very accommodating and took pictures with our cell phone.
I think that, it's nice, you're going to have a lot more PhotoPass photographers now out there because they're even more so with the characters. So I think that's really great. I think it's really great.
And here you are. This is the closest you're going to get to a hug. I know you aren't a big hugger with the characters.
They have to come to me, and if they want a hug from me, I'll give them a hug, but like Pluto at Disneyland Paris.
And like this. Now, this was one of the most fun of the whole day as well. Goofy surprised us with his signing skills. I've never seen anything like we're about to see here.
And I don't know if that's normal for Goofy to do that. I've never seen it, so I gave him the autograph book, and he put it behind his neck.
Yeah, we're gonna watch that. Now this is kind of like playing a guitar behind your back. Very skilled. Look at this, and he signs it perfectly. Goofy right behind his head. Look at that.
That was really.
I told him that I was impressed by his signing skills.
I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, so again, it was great to be able to do the traditional meet and greets. They are fully back. Expect to wait much longer than when you had the distant, meets.
Well, a lot of times you weren't waiting at all.
Right, you could just walk up.
Well, I mean, the character sightings, to me, I would like to see a mixture of them. So guests who might just want to see a character can grab a photo and keep on walking. And then, of course, these were really, it's really nice for guests to be able to meet them as well.
So this is a different day. You could see it was a beautiful day at Epcot with the monorail going over. We were having lunch here at the Rose and Crown at the UK Pavilion.
We've been doing, an occasional dining out at the restaurants. And it's been a long time since we've been at the Rose and Crown, except to stop by for chips or, chips.
Outside, like to
Chips.
actually dine in the real restaurant.
Yes.
I can't even remember. I think it was many years.
Yes, and we asked for outdoor seating, which they have a lot of it.
Yeah, so we went in there early before the restaurant was open. This is first thing in the morning, and you could see plenty of outdoor seating. As a matter of fact, there is our table. A few tables down right there is where we sat. So it was very nice. You're able to be elevated a little bit, have a nice view of the lagoon, of the boats going by. It was very, very relaxing, especially with a nice beer sampler.
Yes, and we're mostly still dining outside, so it's really nice and welcome to still have outdoor, a lot of outdoor seating at some locations.
So I had mentioned the beer sampler. This is the Imperial Sampler. On the left, you're seeing Harp. And to the right of that is Bass Ale, and then Smithwick's, and the last one is probably everyone can guess, that is a Guinness. And I think it was $13.50. I think it's a generous amount of different beers for that price, and they were all very good. I enjoyed them, and it lasted me my whole lunch, so I didn't have to spend any other money on drinks.
It was a chilly day out. Like, it's been getting hot, but we had a couple days where it got chilly. Like,
That's right. We're wearing our Disneyland Paris jackets.
Well, I had a Spirit jersey and a jacket on, so I only got like a unsweetened iced tea because there wasn't really anything on the menu that I wanted. So this is the Coronation Salad, and I thought it's got like tomatoes and raisins. This is $12. I think it's really kind of pricey for the salad that it is.
You had a little crunch surprise on the bottom there, but it was good. I mean, you're right. It was a little high for what it was, but it was a nice starter. And this was your main course here.
I was not a big fan of it. It's the chicken masala curry. I make chicken curries a lot. I cook at home all the time.
You're not a dark meat fan. Did that have anything to do with it? Because it was almost all dark meat, I think.
It's not, I can have curry with dark meat. It was just the taste of it was just okay for me. And I also ordered a side of chips because I love the chips here.
Oh boy, that was the hit.
That was the best part about the
we
meal.
both agree, and I loved my meal, but and we're looking at my bangers and mash, which are very, very good. I enjoyed this, but I have to say the ones at Universal, Finnegan's, would top this. The Finnegan's bangers and mash were better, but these fries here, the side of fries, nobody beats these.
They're really good.
If we each had this, the side of chips, they call them chips there, I would be a happy guy.
Now the curry, you liked it. It was actually
I liked it the next day. I had a huge
we brought it
portion.
home. I didn't eat that much of it. It was actually a really decent size amount of food for the money. But it ended up being more for you. And then this is the English trifle, which I thought it was $8.
That's not a bad deal. I thought this was a very nice ending. You picked this one out, and I wasn't so sure about it. But yeah, I quite like this.
The Grand Floridian Tea Room used to have the English trifle, and I thought that was a better one. But this was not bad. It was $8. I really liked the experience. I wish there was a more of a wine selection and such too, but it was nice.
Very relaxing.
It was relaxing, and the chips were great. But the chips you can also get at the Rose and Crown Pub as well as the Yorkshire County Fish Shop.
And of course, it is still the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, and we were able to walk around, look at some of the topiaries. But now we're going to talk about something else, something very exciting coming up. A lot of news this week, the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind attraction.
Well, there's some news. You've got the cast members who are currently experiencing it, which is very exciting. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind will be opening on May 27th officially, although there are quite a few, there's the pass holder previews, there's the DVC previews, and all
Club
the different
33 previews, so many different things.
Right,
DVC.
D23. So everybody's going to get a chance. It feels like everybody's going to get a chance to ride, but there's an awesome mix of 6 songs, which includes the I Ran, that's a flock of seagulls, and Everybody Wants to Rule the World, which is Tears for Fears. And so you have Isan here, who is a celestial and who was once in possession of the Power Stone. This is stuff we're going to have to learn, more about. But I'm looking forward to learning, all of it. I've
only heard good,
yes,
very good
about
reviews.
The ride and everything. It sounds excellent.
And speaking of excellent, now we're going to talk about Disneyland Paris 30th anniversary, the actual date on April 12th, and this is the celebration in the morning.
And we were there in March, when they had the start of the celebration, but April 12th is the official anniversary, and our friend Rony from
DLPlicious
was there, and I wish we could have been there. We can't go every month. We can't.
Well, they gave out. Yeah, I know. I'd be every month too. But they gave everybody a special map and a flag. I love seeing all the flags in the air. And there is the world famous Raphael getting everyone all excited here for the special moment that's coming up.
And he and another cast member were teaching everybody a dance. The dance for
every one of these events has a dance. It seems these days.
But I think it's because Raphael's been doing this for like 5 years, and he really knows how to get the crowd going.
And I see he has a partner now.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning. That I don't know her name, but other guests do know who she is. And so they were doing that together, and I thought that was awesome.
And here comes one of the ambassadors. They were both out there this was the flash mob, the special moment of celebration.
With usually you have the Dream and Shine Brighter show on these stages, and some of the performers and of course characters from the show were up there.
Well, it looks like a great time. I mean, people were really getting into it. You'll see afterwards how, everybody is kind of moving along to the dance here.
They really, the guests at Disneyland Paris really love the show, and really, I think they really love getting into this. You know?
The show is a great show. So repeatable. We've seen it over 10 times at least.
Not too many.
Right.
A lot.
There's
We've
never
seen
too
a lot.
many.
No.
So, yeah, it was just, it looked like a great day. According to my friend Rony, who was there, it was a great, great day. And it wasn't the end of it, because after this, there was a special presentation from Inside Ears with many of the Imagineers that had stories to tell about the opening of Disneyland Paris.
And I think this was really special, having, something about the history for 2 hours. And I think it's still on the on the Disneyland Paris YouTube channel. Just talking about the history with Tony Baxter and Tom Morris, and also the future. We've got Avengers Campus that's coming this summer to Disneyland Paris.
Speaking of Tony Baxter, I remember for the 25th anniversary 5 years ago, you had a sort of a personal tour of Disneyland Paris from Tony Baxter.
Right, there was like 10 of us. I thought it was really wonderful, and we have that on our YouTube channel as well.
And there is Rony himself on the left, our representative for this event, and a bunch of our other friends. This looks like a lot of fun, yes. This table. And now we're going to kind of show, this is how we were able to enjoy the experience, because it was simulcast, so we watched it at our home here, and we even had a little champagne from Disneyland Paris.
Well, we were given it to us at the media event, but we didn't end up having it, so we brought it home.
Well, it was given to us for the 30th, so we celebrated while we were watching the presentations. I highly recommend anyone checking them out. A lot of interesting stuff. I learned things, and it was a great time, great morning, and why not have champagne at 9 in the morning?
Of course.
If you can. Anyway, that is another show. We want to thank our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
Check them out if you're looking to travel to Walt Disney World for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, or to Disneyland. A lot's going on there. You've got the Main Street Electrical Parade, and more World of Colors coming back, and
fireworks.
Yes, in just a few days. so much, so much is happening. And Disney Wish this summer, they can really help you. Becky and her agents, they do so much research and travel, and they can answer questions if you book with them, and get you set up into restaurants. And I think it's so helpful to have somebody who can do the assist.
Right, and I know the number often has quite a long wait if you need to call Disney for any reason, so it's very nice to have somebody that can do that on your behalf.
Yes, so check them out. You just have to go to their website.
So next week, I am not sure at all what we will be talking about, but I'm sure it'll be great.
You think so? I have no idea what we're talking about. I know Salt and Straw is opening tomorrow, so
yes,
we're planning to be there. So that's at Disney Springs, the ice cream shop that is at Downtown Disney in Disneyland and elsewhere.
And also coming this week, we're going to be celebrating Disney's Animal Kingdom anniversary and Earth Day, always at the same time. That'll be this Friday.
So there is more coming up. So it'll be interesting to see what all we do.
So thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.